YouTube? This is Gavin. And today in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Excuse me. I'm going to be uploading a NBA 2K18 leak video, as you suppose. This was on 2K TV last week. It was the last episode. And same like last year, they released a little bit of some details about 2K18. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of react to it. I've already seen this video before, I will say that. But I'll just talk about what they say. So yeah, let's just get started here.
And now joining me is Chris Manning to talk 2K18, probably our most anticipated segment of the entire season.
I think so. 2K18 is in the air, people are excited, and we might have some details here.
Yeah, we talked to some of the devs and they were hinting about certain things, but I want to get the lowdown from you. And let's start with archetypes because...
Okay, so archetypes, I really liked the archetype system this year, the way it was formatted. But I don't think it was executed perfectly because there wasn't a great enough gap in between archetypes. Because sharpshooters could shoot basically, but at this point in the game, sharpshooters can shoot as good as playmakers and point forwards. And yeah, basically anyone can make threes and anything really, because there's not a great skill gap in this game.
The devs mentioned that there'll be a strong focus again in next year's game.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that were so special about archetypes...
I'm really glad they're bringing the archetype system back because it was a great idea from the start.
To have these different play styles was something that in the tournament, you really saw these players playing these different roles, and it really made the game more competitive. Now, balancing the archetypes, that's the bigger challenge, that's the bigger question.
Yep.
And I don't envy the gameplay
about.
team for going in there and trying to figure out how to balance these things, but we've heard a lot of community feedback. I think we're in a good spot in terms of where we're heading down the road with archetypes.
And speaking of community feedback, we've heard a lot about shooting.
Alright, this is gonna be a section in the video where it's kind of I really hope 2K18 doesn't go towards this, but you know, I'll just show you guys.
And Mike Wang mentioned a little bit about what's going to be changing with shooting next year.
Yeah. So shooting's something that the community has been talking about all year long. I think ever since the introduction of green releases.
Yeah. I will also say that right now in this game, the skill gap is very minimal because you can basically make any shot in park. Like my lockdown defender, who has a 53-pointer, and one of my friends has a glass cleaner, just bang from three-point land, and sharpshooters are still bricking threes. So really, there's not really any skill gap because you can make any shot under 10 feet really that's contested inside. So yeah, there needs to be a greater skill gap in 2K18.
A lot of fans have a lot of different kind of feedback about that. I think they've kind of learned to use it as a crutch. Like if I learn my release and I think the bar is filled up, I should make that.
Yes, that should be happening because if you learn your release right, you should be able to get the best release every single time.
Shot 100% of the time, but we were seeing a lot of really high shooting percentages, high 60s, high 70s.
Which is not bad because this is a basketball simulation game.
Even some of the high 80s and 90s in Pro-Am. I think when we start going forward into 2K18, I'm really glad that the producers are looking towards what made shooting fun and realistic in previous.
No, I just hate how he said realistic, because in park you do not want everybody to be shooting 40% from the three-point land or like 50% in the game, because that's gonna really ruin the fun of the game, knowing that you're not gonna be able to shoot the best you can. And yeah, so I really hope they don't really hurt shooting, nerf shooting.
Games, because there has been a lot of differences game by game on how shooting works. But I'm really excited to see what they come up with in 2K18 because I think we're going to see a lot of improvements there with shooting.
Okay, Chris, what about my team?
My team? Well, my team is returning to NBA 2K18. And
Really? Really? Okay. Who didn't know my team was returning? Yeah, so I really hope for my team, my hopes is that there's like sets to add make the game a little bit more deep. Like Madden Ultimate Team, where you have sets where, for example, you just add gold players to get badges to go towards other players and stuff like that. Instead of just like playing the game in these collections, and like once you collect the collections, you can't do anything else. So yeah, and also I would like to also the pack odds need to be increased definitely, and packs are way too expensive. Cause if you played my team this year, you know that packs come out on Tuesday. I think it's no, it's Tuesday. They cost 200 and then like 15,000, 250,000 BC, 15,000, and yeah, so that's basically that's over $50. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, definitely over $50. And that's a lot for just 21 packs.
And to make sure that I still keep my job, I can't go into too many details, but one thing I've been seeing a lot of the community asking for is more competitiveness infused into my team, more esports infused into my team.
Okay.
I think that's something we might see this year.
Sure.
My career is probably one of our most popular modes, and
It's not really popular. It's just people have to grind it. It's just so they can get a better my player for Park and for Pro Am.
every year it just gets better and better and more intricate. Can we go any further than we did in 2K17?
Well, here's the thing, Rachel. NBA 2K likes to innovate, especially with our biggest modes. And I think you're going to see a huge innovational leap coming to 2K18.
Okay. So yeah, I think really yeah yeah for 2K18, I really hope that it doesn't get too more. My career doesn't get too more in depth, because really when you're grinding players, for example, I grinded 3 or 4 players this year, and it is really annoying to go through high school and college because it's basically wasting time from your grinding to get all those badges. And also 2K needs to make it a lot easier to get badges, and yeah, make it a lot easier to get attribute upgrades also. So yeah.
This year in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game, I played with Baron Davis.
Cool.
I saw you out there. Congrats, by the way. She was
Thank
awesome.
you. So I talked to him a little bit about 2K18. I think it'd be awesome, obviously, if he joined us in next year's game. And
Yeah, Baron Davis. A lot of people like Baron Davis, so that would be nice if they added him.
I was wondering if there's been any developments there.
Well, what I can say is we have teams that span across the history of the NBA, 50 plus years, and fans still want more.
Yep.
And we believe
Yeah, because we want every good player in the history of basketball, basically, in this game. Like, for example, one big name that has not made an appearance in NBA 2K series is Reggie Miller. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a Pacer historic team.
that there could be some more teams coming.
So there is a ton of feedback from our 2K community, and a lot of it you're sifting through.
There is so much feedback. Our community is so massive. So the one thing that I try to do as a community manager is make sure that I'm on YouTube, Reddit, Operation Sports, Twitter, Facebook. But one thing I will say is something like My League and My GM.
Man, no, 2K doesn't really even care about my league and my GM. So if it doesn't make them money, they don't really care about it.
Leftos came from the community. These guys are so passionate about these things that when I come to them and I say, hey, I have a really cool list of feedback that I think you guys haven't seen before, most of the time, most of the producers have already seen most of the stuff because they care and they watch and they monitor that feed.
Yeah, I really hope 2K takes the right feedback and not from like the come-ups that are just complaining about the game. And yeah, and I hope they actually take it from like the competitive people.
So they're already working on things 2-3 years down the line of stuff that people are trying to ask for, you know, so it's kind of a really unique and special thing with our dev team.
Well, thank you, Chris. I know.
Yeah, so that basically concludes this video. And yeah, so we didn't really get that much information about 2K18, but hopefully we get some things that hopefully we get new parks. That's definitely one, and hopefully green lights are not gone, because that would not be good. Because we all know, because they were talking about how decreasing 3-point percentages. I hope that doesn't mean the green lights are gonna be gone, or like I remember 2K16, green lights didn't automatically make the shot go in. Like you would miss green lights, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, it was definitely not fun missing a green light. Yeah, so like and subscribe if you guys want to see more NBA 2K18 leak videos and any news that comes out about 2K18 and for MLB The Show content. And I'm Gavin L. And